Hello, I'm Dallas Johnson, and I am approved by the California Department of Motor Vehicles to provide your California dealer pre-license training. I'm also approved to provide continuing education training by the California Department of Motor Vehicles. And I want to show you how to get your dealer's license in California right now. Okay, first of all, I want to give you some really good contact information. California dealer's licenses are regulated by the Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV. So you're going to see a couple of different phone numbers right there on your screen. You're going to see the actual dealer licensing phone number at 916-229-3126. And later on, you might decide to hire salespersons. And for that phone number, it's 916-229-3128. In order to become a dealer, you are going to have to take a 6-hour dealer training course, and I am an approved provider by the California Department of Motor Vehicles. I've been approved by the state for several years now, and you can take that training online. So hopefully this is convenient for you. You'll be able to go to californiadealer.com and schedule that training at any time. So that is part of the gig here. You will have to take a 6-hour training course. Almost all states now are requiring you to take a training course in order to get your dealer's license. The first thing that we need to do is decide the type of dealer's license that you want to apply for. So in the state of California, there are basically 3 licensing California dealer licenses. So the first thing you want to be aware of, the regular retail license, this is the one that I'm always going to recommend. A retail license will allow you to sell not only to retail customers on your lot, but it also allows you to sell wholesale to other dealers. So sometimes there's a lot of confusion on that. So a retail license allows you to sell retail to the customer, and it also allows you to sell wholesale to other dealers. So that's something you want to be aware of. Now, there's also obviously the wholesale license, and that allows you to sell only to other licensed dealers. And, you know, there are some wholesalers out there that make some money, but they're not the norm. Usually to make a lot of money in wholesaling, there's two ways you need to do this. You need to have some type of resource to get vehicles that nobody else has, or you need to have several years of experience where you built up relationships with franchisors and things like that. As I tell everyone in my courses, if you've been in an in-person course, you've already heard about this. You know, when you're a wholesaler, you have to convince other dealers to buy from you at a markup because, you know, if you're buying vehicles at dealer auctions, the other dealers know exactly what you're paying because those prices are public knowledge for dealers. When you get your dealer's license, you can always find out what vehicles are selling for at dealer auctions. So let's say you think you're going to be a wholesaler and you're going to make a ton of money by buying vehicles at dealer auctions and selling them to other dealers. I want you to think again on that because you're going to have to convince another dealer why they need to buy a vehicle at a markup from you when they can buy 10 more of those vehicles at the same price that you bought them at the dealer auction. So, you know, if you've had years of experience and built up, you know, relationship with franchisors, that might be something for you. Or if you have a way to get vehicles that other dealers don't have a way to get to, like maybe you've got some agreement with some lease company or something like that. But I talk to so many folks that say, hey, I want to get a wholesale license. A wholesale license is not normally very profitable. In fact, it can be, it's pretty rare when a wholesale license is profitable. There are wholesale dealers that make money, but it usually takes years of experience in the industry before you start really making money as a wholesaler. So I'm always going to recommend that you get a retail license. There might be a little bit more cost to that, but your profits are so much higher and your market is basically the entire world. Anybody, whether they're a dealer or not, you'll be able to sell them a vehicle. You know, another thing you might want to look at to get started in the industry is what's called an auto broker endorsement, and that's where you're going to negotiate a buy between a seller and a buyer. You know, maybe you've got a relationship with several franchisors or something like that, and then you are selling vehicles to customers. You can act as an intermediary between the buyer and the seller. Not always a real profitable segment here, but it does allow you to get your foot in your door and get the license. But every single time in every one of my classes or wherever I'm at, I'm always going to recommend that you take the additional steps and maybe a little more of a cost and get that retail license because in the long run, you are going to see much higher profits when you have a retail license. I want to cover the steps right now on how to become a licensed California motor vehicle dealer. First of all, you have to take that class. As I told you, you're going to have to take the course. You're also going to need to apply for the license, and I'm going to show you how to do that extensively in your dealer training course. You are going to have to get fingerprinted. You're going to have a location. You're going to submit some photographs and maintain records. I'm going to show you how to get your bond here in a moment. You have to get a resale permit, and you are going to need to either register with the Secretary of State or the county and that your dealership is in. You need to get a local business license, federal employment license, and you are going to need to take an exam as well. Now, that sounds like a pretty long list, but I'm going to cover all these steps extensively in your dealer training course, such as this step that we're going to cover right now. And I know that seems like a lot of steps, and you do need to complete these before you actually apply for the license. But having a dealer's license is just really undescribable. It basically took me out of financial ruin. You know, no matter what, if you want to take your income to another level, or maybe you're financially secure and you want to increase that income, a dealer's license is a great way to take yourself out of financial ruin and make a great living. It's just a phenomenal living. I've seen so many dealers across the country that came from bad economic backgrounds and they were able to get a dealer's license, and it really changed their life. So in your course, one thing I'm going to show you real quick here is I will show you how to apply for the license. We're actually going to jump right on to the DMV website. I'm going to show you how to get a password to that website, and you can click on California Dealer Applications at the californiadealer.com website. And there are two ways to apply for your license. You can do it online, which I'm always going to recommend, or you can actually gather up some documents and mail them to Sacramento, which I don't recommend. I'll show you how to do that in your course, but I'm always going to recommend, especially in your course, that you do the online method. And in your course, I'm going to show you how you're going to create a user account on the DMV's website, like you see right there. And once I show you how to create this account, not only are you going to be able to view your dealer applications at any time, you can also manage your inspections. I'm going to show you how to get your inspection taken care of. And you can take a look at your inspection reports. If you've ever had a hearing request, and I don't think this is ever going to happen, but if you broke some laws or something like that, you're going to have a hearing in Sacramento, and they'll show you your hearing request right there. It's going to show you how to take an account and also how to gain multiple dealer's licenses. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But the first thing I'll show you in your course is how to actually apply for your license. Now, what you see here, this is a pretty extensive list. If you decide to mail in your application, you're going to have to complete all these documents that you see right here. Well, it's all online now, so I'm always going to recommend doing your course, doing your application online. But if you do decide to apply via mail, you are going to need to mail in this extensive list of documents. Now, once again, I want you to be aware that I am an approved provider by the California Department of Motor Vehicles, and you can view all the content that I've created at californiadealer.com. I'm so confident in the content that I've created, you'll be able to view the majority of the content before you actually even sign up for that course. And when you're ready to change your life, just click on the Begin Training button there, and you can sign up for your mandated 6-hour pre-license course. Now, I'm going to make a very confident prediction here. You know, if you take the steps that I'm getting ready to show you here to get your dealer's license, I predict that you are going to see a huge increase in your income. This tends to be a very profitable business. And, you know, with that being said, you are going to be handling very large financial transactions here in the very near future. Because usually when you're selling a vehicle, that vehicle is going to be worth several thousands of dollars. So a lot of times it's just going to be you and one customer doing a deal. So before the DMV issues you your own California dealer's license, they want to make sure you're of a high level of ethical standards. You know, the state doesn't want to give a dealer's license to somebody that was, you know, stealing cars or rolling back odometers or robbing convenience stores a couple of weeks ago. They do require us dealers to be of a higher level of ethical standards than the average person walking down the street. And the state doesn't want to accidentally give a dealer's license to somebody that was, you know, managing some nationwide auto theft ring. So you're going to need to get fingerprinted, and we call that the live scan. And currently the price is $32. If you live outside the state of California and you want to get your California dealer's license, then you're going to need to get a fingerprint card. Usually they call that the FD-256 form that you should be able to get from your state law enforcement agency or maybe even your county. So you don't have to live in the state of California to have a dealer's license, but your location will have to be in the state of California, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this right now. After I show you in your course how to get your licensing account at the occupational licensing page, you'll be able to click right down here and you'll easily be able to find a location to get your fingerprints that's probably just a few blocks from your home. So there's a lot of locations. You're just going to type in your zip code there and find a live scan location. If you ever have any questions, you can call 916-229-3126. And also there's a great email for you, livescansupport@doj.ca.gov. Now, you are going to need to have a location for your license, okay? And there's a couple of different locations that are going to work out for you. First of all, let's go ahead and talk about your business building. You know, no matter whatever location you are using, you have to make sure that it meets local zoning. A very important aspect of obtaining a California dealer's license is that your building is zoned to have a dealer's license. So it has to be zoned correctly. And I'm going to really stress this. If you do choose to allow me to become your dealer license training partner, I'm going to really stress the importance of making sure that a building meets local zoning. I'm going to show you how to do that in your dealer training course. There's no cloud-based license from the state of California. You know, the state's not going to issue a license without a building because they want your customers to know where you're at after the sale. They don't want you getting a dealer's license, showing up at the Target parking lot, and then disappearing forever. So all states require a physical location for your license, okay? It has to be zoned for a dealership, and you are going to need to have an office with direct entry, and you need to be physically separated from other businesses. And with that being said, the state's going to require that you have a desk, a chair, a filing cabinet, and a phone, and that's where you're going to store your records. And I'm really going to go in depth in that in your dealer training course. You know, no matter what, you're going to have to store your records at that location. And I'm going to show you how to maintain your records requirement in your California dealer training course. Now, if you are a retailer, you are going to need a display area, okay? And the state requires that you have sufficient space for the vehicles that you're licensed to sell. So normally, in most scenarios, you're going to want to have at least a couple of spaces, okay? Now, these have to be big enough for the vehicles that you're licensed to sell. So if you're just selling motorcycles, you could have a couple of spots that hold a couple of motorcycles. If you're selling motor vehicles or trucks or cars, you need a couple of spaces, you know, to hold trucks or cars. If you are going to be, say, for example, a semi-truck dealer, then you're going to need to have spaces large enough for semi-trucks or RVs or things like that. And I don't want you to be intimidated by this. I get calls and emails and chats so many times from someone that says, well, I want to get a dealer's license and I want to get into the dealer auctions, but I don't want to have a lot and all that. I don't want to be that big. Well, you've got to realize to have a retail license and sell to other folks that don't have licenses, you're going to have a display area no matter what. Now, there are companies out there, you will see that there are companies out here that have like a massive office building that you can go in and rent your dealer's license from, and they'll give you a couple of designated spaces, and those are actually compliant with state law. So you will actually be able to get your dealer's license. And if you just go to Google, type in California dealer office, you're going to see a lot of companies that will rent you space so you can get your California dealer's license. If you're not wanting to get a whole location that is dedicated only to your dealership, there are companies out there that will lease you a small office with a couple of designated spaces. So that would help you get your foot in the door, get you into the dealer auctions, be able to buy and sell vehicles, buy them low wholesale, sell them high retail. Or maybe you want to go find a location that is exclusively yours, which I'm always going to recommend that you do that because that's going to definitely allow you for a lot more growth, okay? But no matter what, you know, you're going to need to make sure that you do have a lot. And the state does allow you to have like a storage location. It's within 1,000 feet of your principal office, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in your dealer training course. You are going to have to get a bond. Now, I've always gotten, you mean I got to have $50,000 to get a dealer's license? No. Is a bond going to cost you $50,000? No, absolutely not. I'm going to show you how to hopefully get the cheapest bonds that you possibly can. But for used motor vehicle dealers in the state of California, you've got to get a $50,000 dealer surety bond. And if you're going to be a motorcycle dealer or a motorcycle lessor or an ATV dealer or a wholesale dealer that's selling less than 25 vehicles per year, then you can get away with a $10,000 bond, okay? And I can see them changing that in the near future for wholesalers, maybe not, but the price is based on your credit score. And, you know, with that being said, this is a very, very rough estimate right here. You know, a $10,000 bond, with good credit, I think it's going to be $200 to $400 a year. $50,000 bond is going to be $400 to $600 a year, something like that. That's with good credit, by the way. If you do have a couple of blemishes on your credit score, those prices can go up substantially. So I want you to be aware we have set up a bond quoting system for you. And what I can do, and I'm pretty proud of this system. I actually built this bond quoting system myself. I'm kind of a big techno nerd. But you can go to dealertraining.org, and just click on the bonds link like you see right there. And you're going to scroll down and click on free California Dealer Surety Bond quote. And is the bond quote needed in California? Yes. You're going to check whether you need a $50,000 bond or a $10,000 bond. So most of you are going to need a $50,000 bond, okay? And you're going to need to enter your email. You will need to put your Social Security number in there. You cannot get a dealer surety bond without a Social Security number. So it's going to do a real quick soft credit check for you, okay? And then you'll be able to print your bond up right there on the spot. So one thing I want you to be aware of, the bond is just a two-page PDF. It's a two-page PDF, okay? So you're going to sign the first page, and then the second page is called the Power of Attorney. So you'll be able to easily download those at dealertraining.org. And by the way, depending on your credit score, the way I built this system here, when you get a bond quote, it'll take your credit score and it will match it with one of over 30 bond carriers. So bond carriers have specific credit scores that they cater to, different bond carriers, some to bad credit, some to good credit, some to horrendous credit. So what it'll do is this quoting system that I built here will evaluate your credit score and send your quote to the best bond company based on your credit score. So I hope this is helpful for you. Dealertraining.org is where you can certainly get your bond quotes. Now, you are going to be submitting some photographs with your business because the DMV in the Occupational Licensing Unit, that's the licensing agency underneath the DMV that regulates dealer licenses in the state of California, they are going to want some photographs of your business. In fact, there are several photographs that you're going to need to take of your business and submit them with your dealer license application. And I'm going to go down these extensively in your course so you can submit those photographs correctly because when you submit a correct application to Sacramento, your application will sail through the Occupational Licensing Unit, and you're going to be able to get that license back as soon as possible and get your business open as soon as possible. And I want to get you making some money as soon as possible. That's my goal. So you're going to have some photographs that you're going to be submitting. You're going to have photographs of the office. You're going to have photographs of your lot if you're a retailer. And you're also going to have to take photographs of where you're storing your records. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And then you'll step outside and take a couple of photographs of the exterior of the building. So I will definitely show you how to do that in your dealer training course. Once you get your license, you're going to need to get a copy machine or a scanner because the state does require that you keep an extensive amount of records. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that when you take your dealer training course, if you do give me the opportunity to become your dealer license trainer. With that being said, most records are going to be kept for 3 years, and then some records have to be kept for 5 years. And I'm going to show you how you can store some records on site, but you can move those to another location later on. One of the most important parts of getting your license is getting what's called your resale permit. Okay, this is a requirement for all dealers, and there are companies that will charge you $500 or $600 for this, and I'm going to show you how to basically do it in the course for free. But I want to give you a quick overview. The reason you have to get a resale permit is because you are going to be charging motor vehicle sales tax. And in your course, I'm going to show you how to boot up the simplest software program on the planet, and you're going to be able to order your customer's new title. When you sell a vehicle, I'm going to show you how to easily order the customer's new title, and that software is going to collect your sales tax for you. So it's going to show you exactly how to collect sales tax. Very, very easy to do. And then you're going to click one button, and basically that sales tax will be wired directly to the Department of Motor Vehicles. And it can't be any easier. If you have never charged sales tax on a business, I don't want you to be, if you've never owned a business that has charged sales tax, I don't want you to be intimidated. I'm going to show you how easy it is because we're going to boot up a software program in your dealer training course, and you're going to sit down with the customer when you've agreed on that price at the huge markup above wholesale, hopefully. And when you've agreed to that price with the customer, you're going to sit down at your desk, you're going to boot this software program up, and it's going to figure up the sales tax based on where they live and the price of the vehicle, and they're going to pay you that amount. And if they don't have the money, that software will get financing for you and on the spot, and then it'll wire transfer the sales tax that you've collected automatically. And you'll be able to keep the sales price of the vehicle, but the sales tax will be automatically wire transferred to the DMV. So you have to get a resale permit. And I want to kind of give you a couple of ways to show you how to do this. One of the easiest ways is to go to CaliforniaDealer.com and scroll down on any page, click on that California CDTFA, and I'm going to show you extensively how to do this in your dealer training course. I'm going to show you how to register for your resale permit. You're going to basically create username and password, and there's a couple of steps we'll cover there. And I predict that's going to take about 5 minutes online to submit that application. They're going to verify your identity, and then you're going to have your sales tax license, which is going to look just like this. You can call it your sales tax license, your reseller's permit, your seller's permit, but it is mandatory that you get this document right here before you apply for your license. Okay, this will allow you to legally charge sales tax, and in your dealer training course, I'm going to take you through that entire process extensively. We're actually going to go through a scenario in your course. I'm going to show you how to go buy a vehicle from an individual and then bring it back to our location and resell it to another individual. Hopefully that'll help you, and you'll be confident and ready to run your own deals after you've taken the course. You know, if you do have any questions, you can call 800-400-7115. In your dealer training course, I'm going to give you a lot of good phone numbers like the one that you see right here. This is the Secretary of State Corporations Division. And let's talk about the Secretary of State right now, okay? Most businesses, like almost every dealer in the state, is going to need to register with the Secretary of State, okay? So the Secretary of State is not only California's leading election authority, they're also the leading recorder of business entities, and they want a record of this business that you're getting ready to start in most scenarios, okay? So I'm going to show you here, you know, limited liability company, if you're starting an LLC, you'll have to register it with Secretary of State. If you're going to be a corporation, you have to register it. If you're going to be a limited partnership, you have to register it. If you're an LLP, you have to register. General partnerships may register, and sole proprietors are not required unless, I'm going to show you this, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in your course. If you're a sole proprietor and you're operating in your dealership name, there's no registration required. But if you're a sole proprietor and say, for example, you're going to be, let's say your name is Sarah Sanchez and you're opening Sarah Sanchez Motors as a sole proprietor, you will need to register with your county. I'm going to show you how to do that in your dealer training course as well. But, you know, in your dealer training course, I'm going to show you how to jump right onto the Secretary of State's website. With a few clicks of the mouse, you're going to easily be able to register your business. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And with that being said, there are companies that'll charge you for that, and I'm going to show you how to do it. The minimum fee is going to be a $70 registration fee. The state tends to increase fees a lot, so that fee could go up, but currently it was $70. I'm also going to show you how to obtain your local business license. Now, I know this seems like an extensive list, but the majority of the steps that we're going to complete before you apply for your license take 5 minutes or less online. The majority of the steps that you have to complete before you get your profitable dealer's license have to be done. They take about 5 minutes. So with that being said, I'm going to show you how to get your local business license. So to ensure that you're 100% compliant with all state, county, and municipal laws, the Department of Motor Vehicles is going to require that you have a local business license, and that shows that you are 100% compliant. So I'm going to show you in your course, you know, if you want to get a Sacramento business license, I'm going to show you how to do that. Just jump onto the Sacramento City website, or same goes true with Los Angeles, where our offices are located. If you are going to get a Los Angeles business license, you're going to be able to just Google Los Angeles business license and land right on the City of Los Angeles's licensing webpage. So I'm going to show you how to do that in your dealer training course. Another very, very important aspect of your dealership is getting an employer identification number, okay? Now, I am going to make that bold prediction. I do predict your income is going to go up dramatically. Your income could increase to a level that you never imagined before. Now, with that income increase, the federal government is going to want a little bit of that at tax time, okay? So you're going to need to get an employer identification number. I was in a class recently, and I said there are companies that will charge you $500 to get your employer identification number, and I had a guy at the back of the class raise his hand. He said, I just paid $600 to get my EIN. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to do this for free. It won't cost you a dime. So I'm going to show you how to get your EIN in your course. It takes 5 minutes or less, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that if you do allow me to become your dealer license training partner. And you can always go to CaliforniaDealer.com to sign up for that course. Now, right before your license, you are going to need to have a real quick lot inspection or license location inspection. Sometimes they don't do this with wholesalers, but if they're not sure whether or not you're meeting your local zoning, they might require that you have that, okay? Now, with that being said, I'm going to show you in your course how we're going to create that account at the occupational licensing website, and you're easily going to be able to schedule your location inspection. And there on the screen, you're going to see that I've done a lot of research on phone numbers and contact information for California dealers, and right there on the screen, you're going to see the licensing inspector contact offices all through the state. So if you have a specific question about your location, you can pause this video right now and call the inspector office that's closest to your dealership if you have specific questions, and they are a wealth of information for you. So throughout that course, if you do allow me to serve as your dealer license training partner, I think you're going to be pretty impressed with all the contact information. I've been training dealers in the state of California for several years. I've been an approved provider for dealers in California from the DMV, and I also do continuing education. So I try and keep a real grasp on California motor vehicle dealer laws. Now, don't be intimidated by this. You have to take a test, okay? I've never talked to anyone that's ever failed the test. There are a couple of folks that might have to take it twice, which is no big deal. But you basically have to show the DMV that you have learn something in your dealer training course. And I hope that you do. But no matter what, you've got to take a quick exam. And if you go down to, I've got a practice exam for you that I think is going to be very, very beneficial. I'm going to recommend you don't take it until after you've taken the course, but you can go to CaliforniaDealer.com, scroll down on any page and click on the California Dealer Test. California Dealer Test. So I have a quiz there on that website for you. But like I said, I always recommend that you take the course first and then do the practice exam right before you take the real exam. So you're going to be able to find a location very close to your home to do your DMV exam. And they have it in multiple languages. If you're not fluent in English, you can take that in Spanish or other languages as well. When I show you how to create an account on your occupational licensing website, we're going to scroll down and we're going to schedule that exam. And you can see there's one right next to our office in downtown Los Angeles. That's on Wilshire Boulevard, about a block from my office here. So you'll be able to find a location no matter what that's close to you where you can go in and take that comfortable exam. And if for some reason, and you're not going to fail it, but if for some reason you fail it, you can take that again. But they do charge you $16 every time you take that exam. But I still recommend that you take the dealer training course first, take our practice exam, which you're going to find at CaliforniaDealer.com. Scroll down on any page and click on California Dealer Test, and you can easily prepare for that easy exam. And there it is right there, CaliforniaDealer.com. Any page, scroll down, click on the California Dealer Test, and you'll easily be able to practice for your exam. And I can almost guarantee you're going to pass that exam on the first time. If in some rare instance you do not, you can just take it again. Okay, so I'll talk more extensively about that. I do appreciate you considering me becoming your a dealer license training partner. And as I said, I have trained for the DMV for several years now. And what I'm going to do in your course, I am going to take you through the entire startup process, screenshot by screenshot. I'm going to go in depth on exactly how to meet your pre-license requirements. But the more important thing I'm going to show you is after you've got your license, I'm going to show you how to do a deal. I'm going to show you how to use software to basically figure up the sales tax that you're charging. It's going to order the customer's title. I'm going to show you how to get loans for every single customer that comes into your office. And right now, 91% of our customers need a loan for that vehicle that you're trying to sell. So if you want to help your customers get loans on the spot, you're going to sell a lot more vehicles. And I'm going to show you how to get loans for customers that have good credit, bad credit, horrendous credit, foreclosures, bankruptcies. We're going to be able to get them loans as well. I have been doing this for a long, long time. I have found the resources that I believe are going to be very helpful for you. I'm going to show you some required documents that you need to have posted in your office. And it is a very, very informative course. And once you have taken that 6-hour training, you are going to be extremely confident and you're going to be ready not only to apply for your license correctly, but you're also going to be able to run your new California dealer-based business in compliance with state and federal laws. My main goal in that course is to help you follow all the rules and guidelines. This tends to be a very profitable license, because when you get your dealer's license and start going into dealer auctions, not only are you going to be able to go into the California dealer auctions, you can take your California dealer license and go to every single dealer auction in the United States. You can go up to the dealer auctions in Canada, and there's even been a couple of them down in Mexico. So you can go take your California dealer license and go into every dealer auction in North America, and you're going to be amazed at how cheap vehicles sell for at the dealer auctions and how much you can make when you mark them up on your lot. So I'm going to show you not only how to make money on the markup of the vehicle, but I'm going to show you also how to legally charge what are called document preparation fees, where you can add significant profits to your deals as well. So when you take our course, you're going to be confident, you're going to be ready not only to start your business, but I'm going to throw some profit strategies in there for you as well, because I've been training folks just like you for many, many years, and I've gotten pretty good at it. I really feel like that. So read the reviews on the website, and when you are ready to change your life and get your own California dealer license, you can go to californiadealer.com and scroll up there and click Begin Training. And my name's Dallas Johnson. I'll be giving that course for you, and I want to wish you the very best of luck with your new business. Thank you very much.